Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Simuleo. So here's the thing. I realize this time zone is absolutely awful for pretty much everyone. But it was the only time I had today, and I'm so sorry about that. Let me go ahead and open up Zernal PP, talk about where we're at, and what the plan is for today. It's actually not going to be super long, I don't think, because I just have other things I need to get done. But I do want to update you guys on where I've been and what's going to happen in the next few days. So, yesterday, my wife came home from work and she said that she finally got the work permit for Barcelona, which, as I've said before, we will be going to Barcelona in the next few weeks, right? So this is very important, but it means that I have to go back and forth up to Tokyo a few times. So yeah, that means tomorrow I'm not going to be able to stream because I've got to go to Naha, which is in somewhere else in Okinawa to do a whole bunch of just different things for the move. And then on Friday we're going to be going up to Tokyo, which means we have to take a flight there, and then I have to take a flight back. Well, she's going to be going to take care of her father in Osaka. There's just a lot of things that need to happen all of a sudden. So tomorrow and the next day I won't be able to stream. I also won't be able to get any work done, which means I have to get all of the work for the Summer of Math Exposition done essentially now. Which is why, again, today's stream is going to be really short, unfortunately. And it's probably just going to be dealing with the, just doing some algorithm archive reviews, and that might be about it. Ice Cold Twitch, Ice Cold Witch. Hey, how are you? We're still going to be doing research streams, but today it's probably not going to be that. It's probably going to be an algorithm archive review. I might, if I'm really feeling up to it, figure out how to get Gavel set up on stream, just so I can do some development of it. But that's about all I've got. It's not going to be super long. It's just going to be kind of an in-out type of thing. So yeah, I apologize for that, but I just thought it's better to have some stream on the board than none at all. So let's go to github.com and let's just do it. .com. Okay, so algorithm archive here. Let's just see if there's any pull requests that we can just immediately handle. Fixing order function arguments. So I think both of these we can just immediately merge back in. They were sitting there for a few hours. You know, everyone had a chance to see them. So I'm going to go ahead and squash and merge. Using my administrative rights, squash and merge. Perfect. Okay. And we've got one more that we have to do. Let me see. Does that automatically close that? This does not. So let's go ahead and... Oh, no, it is closed. Perfect. Okay. Then let's go and do a pull request here. And that's this one here. And again, this is also a quick fix. So let's just go ahead and squash and merge. Well, actually, let me just take a look to make sure it actually is an appropriate change. Yep. And now we're going to use administrative privileges, squash and merge. So that's 2 PRs done in like 2 minutes. So that's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete some branches here since I can. Let me go back to previous pull requests, go to the one that was just closed. And this one should be, I think I can just delete that branch as well. Yeah, that wasn't the right one. 1 second. Fixing order function arguments here. And delete that branch. Let's see. You should be sorry. How dare you prioritize your family over us? Yeah, it's just... The truth is that it's not... Wait, what happened? Adding colon back. Oh, that's the one that I just did. Okay, perfect. It's not so much that I'm sorry about prioritizing family. It's that... I mean, look, the truth is, over the past 2 years, I just haven't been able to get any work done. Like, the longest stretch of time that I've had where I haven't had an unforeseen interruption is 2 weeks in the past 6 months, where there hasn't been something to come up that is just immediate, that's taken my attention such that I can't do any work, right? So my point is, it's like, you know, like you'll be working and then all of a sudden you have to do 6 hours of visa paperwork, right? And you have no idea when it's going to come up. You just know it's going to come up, and it probably comes up like every day, but you have no idea what you're going to do every day. So like you can't plan ahead, right? And that's been my problem for the past 6 months. It's like every single day there's something new that comes up that's just been something radically different than what I was expecting to do that day. So I just can't even plan hours in advance. The best I've done is 2 weeks. And those 2 weeks were when I was in quarantine in Tokyo, and there's literally nothing I was able to do because I was in quarantine in Tokyo. That was it. That was the only time I've had any amount of like for any ability to predict what's going to happen in the next 24 hours for the past 6 months, and it's just been a nightmare, honestly. I'm really looking forward to when, you know, we're finally like able to settle down and in Barcelona and get things settled. There's a setting to auto delete branches on merge. Yeah, I just don't know if I did that because I was somewhat afraid of auto deleting other people's branches that they might want to keep. I don't know. So maybe that was why, or maybe I didn't understand what the option did. Right, paperwork in Japan. Yeah, so it wasn't paperwork in Japan necessarily. It was paperwork to get to Japan. So right now Japan is entirely closed. There is absolutely no way for anyone to get into Japan without some reason to get there. So, for example, Olympians can get in there because of the Olympics. You know, you can't really hire anybody, so because visas aren't being distributed. But like, if there's like an absolutely urgent reason, you can come over. So the way that I got into Japan was because my wife is Japanese. But you know, there was just a lot of paperwork in that. So it's just, you know, to be fair, we went through all of the paperwork that you need to do for a spouse visa and more, a lot more, to get a traveler's visa, the visa that you can normally get just by having your passport in your back pocket and flying to Japan. It's just such a weird place that we're in right now. And then on top of that, getting the visa application forms were nonsensically hard. Specifically for Spain, you have to have like an apostille on the on your document from the FBI showing that you don't have a criminal record. So you have to get that for the visa applications. The apostilles usually take like 5 days and they cost like $8 or something like that. But they're not processing apostilles right now in the US because of COVID. So what do you have to do? You have to go through another site that basically costs $250 and takes 3 weeks. So it's just been a lot of these things that have been popping up where it's just like, you know, usually things take 2 hours and you're done and you're in, out, no problems. But that's not been the case. Like, it's been the case where I've been doing nothing but paperwork for like, well, nothing. I've been doing other things but paperwork, but it's been like 4 hours a day of paperwork pretty much every day for the past, 4 months. And it's just been crazy. So when I'm saying sorry, it's not saying sorry, about, missing a stream or two. It's sorry that I've just been so scattered. Like, it's just impossible to get any actual work done. And as much as I've been trying, I've been failing, I just heard that there is so much paperwork in Japan for basically anything. That's true. Even before COVID. Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, let's take a look at another PR while we're at it. I kind of want to do something with computers. It should be relatively easy to do. So let's take a look at here. Let's see. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a look and see what we have here. Files changed. I'm just going to build it locally, make sure it all works, and then I'm happy to merge this one as well. So this is another one that's a very quick merge, and we can just do right away. Okay, so we're going to cd into projects, algorithm archive. L is here. Git branch, git checkout, master, git pull, upstream, master, and let's see what we got. I typoed. Okay. Right, so the next thing I want to do is do git branch again, and just remove a few of these branches. D, so for example, I can delete this guy. Actually, wait, maybe I can't delete that guy. Well, no, I will. I'll delete that guy. Git branch -D. There's probably a way to, like, more quickly prune this type of stuff, but I don't know how to. I'm not doing that right now. So I can also probably remove the counting branch. Well, maybe I'll keep counting. So let's see, just a few others that I want to remove. This one, for example, I want to remove. Just a quick prune. I'll come back to it in just a second. And now we have the GitHub CI also merged. Man, we've been actually getting some stuff done for the algorithm archive, which I'm really happy about. Okay, CI there. Okay, perfect. Git branch. Not all of them are deleted. There's a few more I can delete, but that's good enough for now. So let's go over here and let's grab this locally. GitHub, go to the base of the repo, click on branches. Yeah, well, the thing is, the branches are deleted on GitHub, or some of the branches are deleted on GitHub, but I don't know how to delete them locally without doing git branch d. There's probably a way to like automatically sync it up with git fetch or something like that, and that should be fine. Okay, so let's go and do command line instructions, and grab this guy over here, paste it there, enter, and we're just gonna mess around with it a bit. Okay, cd, actually, just go over here, cd projects, algorithm archive, then npm, run serve, and yeah, just kind of do what we need to do. Okay, once it's built, I'm just going to check to make sure the Scala version of Computus is it fits in where it needs to fit in, and it should be good. Don't worry about it, Nick, I totally understand. But yeah, there's probably a way to do it. I think even I've done it before. I just kind of forgot. Okay, let's go here. Open it up in the local scope, local host. Then we need to scroll all the way down to Computus, which is right here. Switch over to Scala, which should be there. And I think the only code we have in here, I think, is at the very bottom. So I think I'm checking, but I think that's all the code we have. Yep. And yeah, looks good to me. So the only other thing I have is how to run Scala code. I just need to check to make sure the results are the same as it is for the Julia distribution. Okay, that's not what I want. So let's do this. Okay. First line of code, I just want to know how to compile it, run it interactively. I don't really care about running things interactively. I just want to run it. Right. This is Scala. So if I just run Scala, so I need to download it. Yay-ss Scala. I probably have it installed already, right? Maybe. Let me see what I have here. Oh gosh, this is too much. I'm sure if I just do pacman s Scala, it'll work, right? Sudo pacman s Scala. Yep, okay, seemed to work. Everything with scalability. Right. Okay, let's just run Scala. Okay, and now how do I run something? It is... how do I import a file? So if I just run Control D and then Scala and then the file name, wait, no. CD contents, what am I doing? CD contents, algorithm archive, no. Computus, there we go. Code, Scala, here we go. There's a lot of subs that are for the algorithm, for algorithms that aren't there in the algorithm archive. Are you going to keep all of them open? There's a lot of subs. I think you mean stubs, as in like, right, yeah, pull requests, like, yeah. So, I'm going to, let me talk about that after I get this pull request merged, because there is something I want to do with it, but I haven't quite figured out the way to do it yet. So let me just run Scala and this. Hopefully it returns something. Okay, great. Now let's just run Julia, .. It doesn't really matter too much. Julia, and then gaussiester.jl. I just have to make sure it's the same dates. 12/4, so it's a bunch of Aprils, March, April, March, April. Yeah, looks good to me. 12/4, 17, 9, 31, 25, 28, 16, 1, 21. It looks like the same numbers, so that all looks good to me. So let's go ahead and merge that in. That's 3 pull requests done in like 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. I don't fully understand how you got subs instead of PRs, but also it doesn't matter. So I'm happy with this one. you can diff the outputs too, right? I can, but the issue is that the Scala version has a different, slightly different, like, how do I put this? A slightly different, like, tabbing and stuff like that. So that means that it's not going to exactly work out. And I don't really care that much about that, so I'm happy enough to just say we're good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and just add a review here. So we're going to do files changed, review changes, approve. Another great PR. Sorry. I've taken so long to actually get to these. Okay, so let's go ahead and submit the review, approve it, and go ahead and merge it in. Squash and merge, confirm squash and merge. Those minor differences are going to be a pain for the automation if I end up writing it. Oh, that's a good point. Okay. As you start doing that, let me know when that actually gets started. So there was an issue. I got it in the email, so I didn't look at it here. But here. Nope, that's not the one I was thinking of. I'm sorry. This one. Investigate running all the code investigate running all example code for validity. So Nick, here in chat, is also the same person here on GitHub. Proposed something really cool with the algorithm archive where we have all of this code available, and we want to run it and test it and make sure that this code is all working in all cases. And it would also help for validity. So like if someone wants to check to make sure that, their code submission works with the algorithm archive, we could maybe use this for that as well. There's a lot of things that we could do here. In addition, what I find really cool about this is it's kind of a step in the direction towards potentially doing like a large, okay, this is going to sound really stupid, but a large benchmark of a bunch of different programming languages. Now, here's the thing. There are questions as to whether the code written in the algorithm archive can constitute a decent benchmark. And the answer is no, right? Like, the code written in the algorithm archive is for educational purposes, not for benchmarking purposes, right? If you were going to write, C++ code, you're going to write it probably differently if you want to write it performantly, as opposed to how you write it in the algorithm archive. I get that. But there is something kind of nice about having, a huge repository of code from different languages, all supposedly doing the same exact operations, and seeing how, the code changes, right? And so if the goal of the code isn't to implement an algorithm, but just to say, hey, which language is better at iterating through loops, or what language is better with this or that, in some sense, I think this could be a really cool step in that direction. Admittedly, it's still very far away. Like we're not even touching that here. This is just a step into validating that all of the code that we're submitting is working, and that's really, to me, that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. There's another thing that was mentioned by Fortuitous Lover here, talking about some of the PRs that we have open. And they're right, at the very back of the queue, there are a bunch of PRs that are specifically for chapters in the algorithm archive. This moment, when we had a bunch of chapters submitted to the algorithm archive, was the moment that basically I lost track of GitHub, because basically reviewing a chapter is a lot of work for me, and I just haven't had the time or the attention span to actually attack these chapters. Now, there's a lot of really good chapters. I've learned a lot reading the chapters, but there's something different between merging something someone else has written and writing stuff myself. And at the time when these chapters were written, it wasn't clear what the standard of quality was for the algorithm archive. So I kind of let it sit, because the problem was I couldn't tell people that, hey, I think your chapter needs this, this, and this, if there were chapters in the algorithm archive that didn't have those things, right? It's like, hey, I think a citation would be useful here. I think, an illustration would be useful here. All that kind of stuff. I couldn't rightly tell people, hey, it's good to have these things, if the chapters in the algorithm archive didn't have those either. And so that's why I've been kind of 50-50 on whether these chapters will or will not be merged. I am moving towards having them be merged, but also I think in order to do that, we need to make sure that the quality standard of the algorithm archive is sufficiently high so that people don't don't just submit code itself, right? Because a lot of people, they tend to get very, how do I put this? They get confused as to what the goal of the algorithm archive is. And part of that is due to my own marketing of the project, where they kind of see it as a kind of worse off Rosetta code or a worse off numerical recipes. And that's not really what this is. It's kind of meant as an archive of arcane algorithms. That's what it's meant as. An archive of algorithms with a particular focus on the arcane ones. That's what it's meant to be. So, yeah. Anyway, the point is, I don't know what we're doing with these chapters yet. There's a lot of stuff here, and I just don't know what to do. So I'm leaving it until we kind of get through the easy ones. And then as we start tackling the harder ones, we'll kind of start wrapping these up. Also good to see you after about a year. I got busy with schoolwork, and so I didn't have a chance to watch these streams. Now that I'm about to go to uni, I have some time and can also contribute to the algorithm archive. I'm super happy to hear that, but also, just for the record, I'm not pushing anyone to do contributions for the algorithm archive. I would love it when people do, but it's not, don't ever feel like you're obligated to do it. You know what I mean? There's something else that I want to point out here, in that for the past year, I've been really difficult to get a hold of. I've been doing my best to like put out videos and do Twitch streams, but I've moved like 6 times over the past 2 years. And with every move, you kind of have to take everything down for basically a full month, and then bring it back up again in your new place or whatever. It's just been tough. And, I mentioned that earlier in stream that, things keep getting in the way, where it's just been like 4 hours of paperwork. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it has to happen. You always have to be on call for, visa paper. It's just been a pain. I actually want to. It's a really cool project. No pressure. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping people feel as well. And I'm glad that, you guys don't feel obligated to do it. But the fact is, I did because I wasn't around for the past year. We're kind of starting from scratch with the community again. We're slowly building things up, from where we were in 2018. Clearly, we were at a good place in 2018 to where we are now. And there's just a lot of building to do to get back to where we were. And then hopefully when we get there, we'll have a positive trajectory and go way past that state. But, it takes time. So there's something else I want to talk about before moving on to the next topic, and that is, I think, really cool. So here's an idea I had. We have recently talked about a couple of different things on this channel, the first of which was the approximate counting algorithm. Okay, the next thing we started talking about, or we talk about a lot here, is general purpose GPU computing, GPGPU. Another thing that we've mentioned is the ability to do a tree traversal. So we're going to say BFS by counting. Okay, hear me out, right? So we know how to do a breadth first search by counting forward in some sort of bit space, where your bit is 1 higher than the number of nodes in your n-array tree. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if you have a binary tree, right? And you're asking yourself, how do I get to this node here? Well, the answer is you go this direction and that direction, which means for an iterated function system, you have some initial node n, we'll say, and you apply function 1 to n, and then you apply function 2 to the output of f1 and of fn. So what you can do is you can say, well, okay, let's treat this as a bit string. So we have maybe 1, 0 as our bit string. And you could imagine we could have additional functions applied here. So it could be, for example, f1, f1, f2. And in this way, you can actually go through, I think I did one too many parentheses, but you get the point. The point here is that you can actually traverse through the tree by simply counting up with some sort of n-bit logic. So the example we gave was of the Sierpinski triangle with bijective trit space. But the point is, we can traverse through the tree with simple counting, right? We have a way to approximate counting. We have a way to do things in parallel. So I had a really good idea yesterday, because we can also do one more thing. And that other thing is talking about abstract syntax trees / expression trees. Okay, so here's how everything comes together. And actually, I'm more excited about this than I should be. I want people to be able to plug in the equation they want. So they could say, P is equal to P plus A over 2 or something like that. I want them just to be able to type in this equation, and then what I want it to do is I want it to distribute this equation across a bunch of cores on a GPU. So each one of these threads is, in a sense, taking a point in space and iteratively solving going step by step, and moving according to the function system that you give it. So obviously you have, p is equal to p plus b over 2 as well, and all these different functions and stuff like that. So I want to distribute that across a bunch of GPUs, and then what I want to do is have it be solved by basically approximate counting on each thread, where each thread has a different base to the exponential, so it counts further along the tree. This is really hard to describe. I can't explain it appropriately. But the point is, I've got a really cool idea to combine like a bunch of projects that we've talked about before on this channel, on Twitch, and on YouTube as well, that I think is going to be really cool. I'm really excited to see where it goes. So let's leave it at that and just say, this is kind of something that I have kind of brewing in the back of my head. It's going to turn into something kind of neat. I'm definitely making a video on it. Really excited about it because obviously no one's ever seen this before. Is it a cool paper? No. Is it a cool video? I really hope so. This is kind of in the vein of things that I want to start doing, whereas like combining all these elements of things that we've talked about before into one big project that kind of all comes together in the end, right? So in this way, I can talk about breadth first search, I can talk about breadth first search by counting, I can talk about the approximate counting algorithm, and all of these are just little packages that I can give people, and so they don't have to think about it, right? We can just say, hey, here is the topic that we're talking about, and if you want to learn more, here are those topics that we talked about before. Okay, that was kind of rambly. I don't know why I did that. Okay, now on to the next thing, because that was just a very quick, like, hey, this is something I want to do. I think it's really cool, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So, let's talk about the next thing. So, like I said, because I can't work tomorrow and I can't work on Friday, and the Summer of Math Exposition deadline is in, by my clock, 4 days, this means that I really do need to have the someone judging scheme figured out. A few days ago, Nick introduced me to a software package called Gavel, and I tried to use Gavel 2, but I couldn't quite get it working for what I wanted. So this morning I actually went back to looking at Gavel 1, which is basically a way to do pairwise judging for like hackathons and stuff like that, and I think we're going to use it for what we need to do for the Summer of Math Exposition. So there's a couple things that I need to do. One, I need to make it so we exclude, so we make it so judges cannot judge themselves. That's one thing we need to do to change Gavel around. Another thing we have to do, because Grant is very persistent about this, make it so we're not doing pairwise judging. Judgments, but we want to do rank order instead. So the idea here is that you have a group of 5 and you kind of move them in order of which ones you like best and worst, and we then rank order and then we kind of treat these as pairwise. We interpret them as pairwise in the end. So these are kind of the two big changes that I need to do to the framework. But I don't understand the framework at all at this stage. So I was thinking maybe for the next 30 minutes on stream or so, we just kind of, try to create a local development environment with Gavel on my own computer. And then hopefully that will allow me to work on it offline when I'm, going around Okinawa tomorrow and also flying up to Tokyo on Friday. So we'll see. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of tough, but I think we can do it. So it's just, there's a lot that needs to be done this week, unfortunately. And that's just where we are, So even though there's these kind of really cool research projects that I really, really want to do, I'm also cognizant of the fact that I need to get this done kind of as quickly as possible. So, and again, there are some really cool things that we can do here with the judging, like interesting research related problems and stuff to solve. But again, it's one of those things where you just have to swallow your pride and just do it, instead of coming up with a cool new strategy to do it at the same time. Okay, so here's the Gavel directory. It is linked to my own fork of Gavel. I'm just going to do ls here, and I'm also going to do cd projects Gavel here. And I'm just going to open up vi development.md, and I'm just going to work on it a bit. So it says we need Vagrant. So it says the easiest way to get started on hacking on Gavel is to use Vagrant. and run everything inside a virtual machine. Oh no, this sounds annoying, but I guess it's fine. It is what it is. So, let's just do yay-s vagrant, and let's see what we got. Okay, sure, yep, seems fine to me. Oh, by the way, my download speed is way slower than my upload speed. So like I can barely watch a YouTube video, but I can stream in 4K. It's kind of ridiculous. So a lot of these things, like, it might look like things are going a lot slower on my machine, but that's because they are. It's just a weird, I've got a very weird internet connection right now. Okay, so what's it say to do? It says Vagrant up. That didn't work. Oh no. Let's see, what do we have here? The easiest way to get started on hacking with Gavel is to use Vagrant. If you really want, you could also manually install stuff on your machine and get Gavel running there. Also, if you need help with anything, feel free to ask in the Gitter chat. Huh. Okay. So let's go ahead and do sudo pacman-syy to sync everything up again and reinstall Vagrant, because it looks like it was a yeah, it just looks like it was a bit behind the times. So sudo pacman-s vagrant. See what we got. It looks like it's the same version. Okay, let's do Vagrant again. Up. And let's see what we got here. No usable default provider could be found on your system. Vagrant relies on interactions with third-party systems known as providers to provide Vagrant with resources to run development environments. Examples are VirtualBox, VMware, Hyper-V. Okay, so let's do sudo pacman-s virtualbox. There we go. I gotta be honest, I don't know which one. I'm gonna say 2. Yes. And see what happens. Then maybe it'll work. This just means on my laptop for the development, I'm gonna have to Vagrant up. No usable provider. The easiest solution to this message is to install VirtualBox, which is available free on all major platforms. VirtualBox. Yes, I have VirtualBox. Okay. If you believe you already have a provider available, make sure it is properly installed and configured. You can see more details about. Okay, let's just do Vagrant up. Provider equals VirtualBox. The provider VirtualBox was requested to back the machine default is reporting that it isn't usable on the system. The reason shown below. VirtualBox is complaining that the kernel module is not loaded. Please run VirtualBox VBox managed version or open VirtualBox GUI to see the error. Okay, VirtualBox. Welcome to VirtualBox. Okay, seems fine to me. New? I'm not seeing the OG. Wait, it's what's OG up? You'll have to recompile it. The VBox DRV kernel module is not loaded. Either there is no module available, or the current kernel, or it failed to load. Please recompile the kernel module and install it by the following. You'll not be able to start VMs until this problem is fixed. Sudo sbin VBox configure. Okay, that's fine. Sounds fine to me, I guess. Sudo sbin. Hopefully this is fine. VBox. 1 second. I'm unable to type today for some reason. VBox. Con. Wait, where is it? Please and install it by. It is /sbin/VBox. Sure, just show me everything then. There should be a VBox. There is no. Oh no, there is VBox, but there's no VBox config. Okay, let's do sudo pacman-s virtualbox. Let's just install the other version of VirtualBox. No, sudo pacman-r virtualbox. Yep. Okay, let's try it one more time. Up here somewhere. Yep. Ah, no, it's defaulting to the other package. Okay, let's just look up VirtualBox then over here. And just do VirtualBox Arch. Arch. Okay, let's see what we got here. VirtualBox Arch Wiki. This doesn't really help. Install VirtualBox package. You will need to choose a package to provide the host modules. For the Linux kernel, choose VirtualBox host modules Arch. For any other kernel, including Linux LTS, choose VirtualBox host DKMS. Okay, so it looks like I had the right one. No, okay. Let's just install it again. It's fine. All right, let's go. What am I doing here? Give me a second. I need to think. ls, I want to run VirtualBox again. There. It gave me an error, so let's just see what we have here. Please recompile the kernel here. Let's just Google that because we don't actually have that file, so we can't do it. Right. Let's just go here, there. Just every time. Every single time. Just for Pete's sake. Okay, where am I? I'm here, and I want to do the following. Come on, there. Okay, then kernel driver not installed. How to fix the prevent VirtualBox kernel driver not installed. Do I just need to reboot my computer? Let's see. VBox manage. Okay, let's just try Vagrant up again and just run what they said to run. So we're going to run Vagrant. And then it's going to give us an error here, and we're just going to run that version. Okay, this command doesn't work. Right. Hey, Anakin Luke, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay. Okay. Thanks for misspelling it intentionally. What? Okay. I'm trying to make the inside joke a thing. Okay. That's also fair. Okay, let me see. What do we have here? Amaris, thank you so much for the resubscription. How many months is that? That is 16 months. I don't know. I don't see a message associated with it, but maybe there is. Let me go ahead and put 16 Simule cows in the chat. Simule cow? Cow? And that's one. Just 15 more. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Nate, Lift 151. How are you? I hope you're having a great time. Okay, so my question is, why can't I work with what's wrong with VirtualBox? I don't know. I have no idea. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Right. So maybe you'll not be able to start the output of the following bad argument setup. Oh, this is not helping at all. Do I actually need to? Do I need to, like, turn the computer off and on again? Is this like a typical IT thing? Right, so the big issue here is that we have this thing called the Summer of Math Exposition going on. So in 4 days, essentially, we are supposed to get all of the entries from everyone in the world, presumably submitting their math exposition, and then we have to judge all of the math exposition. As it stands, we have like 400 to 500 entries, and there's still 4 days for the process to finish. So we just have a large number of people, and we're basically trying to find a way to judge all of these people efficiently. So it's okay to do manual judging of like maybe the top 100 people, but doing manual judging of 400 to 500 people means that basically no one is going to get their entire work read or understood. So what we're doing is I'm really just looking at a pre-built software to do the judging for me called Gavel. I'm trying to get it set up locally so that I can just kind of do some minor tweaks to it. One, I need to make it so that, you know, if there's a judge who happens to also be judging their own work, that round is disqualified, or we need to do something in that case. And the other thing is that Gavel works based on pairwise judgments. So that means like one versus another, which one's better, this type of thing. But what I actually would prefer, and what I think is going to work better just for usability's sake, is a rank order instead. So we give them 5 and we tell them which one do you like best. And then we can, kind of turn that into, 25 pairwise ordering after that, and then read that into what Gavel already has. It's going to be kind of a pain, I think. But, I think we can get it done if we just focus on it for the next few days. Unfortunately, tomorrow I don't have any time. And the day after that, I don't have any time. So it's going to be interesting. Tell me more about this Gavel program. I have no idea what it is about. Right, so Gavel is essentially just... here, I'll give you guys a link to it here. So that's Gavel. I think I clicked an extra button on accident, but I think it's fine. Right. So it's essentially just a way to better, just to judge hackathons and stuff like that. It's used by a bunch of different groups. Oh, sorry for the yawn. It's used by a bunch of different groups. What I might do, maybe I just contact them directly. You think maybe if I sent them an email, I could be like, hey, how would I go about fixing this? And they might... Let me actually just send them an email and be like, hey, how do I do this? And maybe they'll respond. Maybe not, but maybe they will. So let's see, what is the best way to do this? Notes contributing. I was hoping they would give me an email to like send something to. Search email me. It's in the body. Email. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. I mean, everyone knows my email anyway. Everyone knows my email anyway because I use it on GitHub, so I guess it's fine. Besides, it's kind of a spam account anyway. Using... Welcome to Simuleos, a stream where I don't care about security at all and instead just email people at random during the stream. For the Summer of Math Exposition 1 competition. Hello. I am Dr. James Schloss. I am working with Grant Sanderson from the channel 3 Blue, 1 Brown, to run a competition this summer. Yeah, I'm working with Grant for this project at least, called the Summer of Math Exposition 1. We have a few hundred decently large number of applications and are trying to find the best way to judge them. Wait, so that's the project that he posted a video about? Yeah, this is one of the projects he posted a video about. He also has a new website that we were working on over the summer. Let me just go there. 3 Blue... Oh, come on, I can do this. 3 Blue... 1brown.com. Now, look, I'll be honest. I think it was a little bit... It's a bit flashier than what I would like. But I think the site's still pretty good. So, for example, you can go to, I don't know, what do you want to check out? Any of these, really. How about we do by date. And actually, I don't think... Okay. Let's just click on an article then. Wait, what? Oh, what? I didn't know that was a thing. Let's go to lessons. I wanted to show one particular one that was for Bitcoin, but actually, I have no earthly idea. Let me just go here to Bitcoin. Okay, good. It's found here. How does Bitcoin actually work? And so basically what... Oops. Hello. Okay, how do I get this there? Okay, so basically it's just like, so these are like actual Bitcoin operations going on and stuff like that. So we hired a bunch of interns over the summer to effectively redo the site and make it like really useful and interesting for people. And so we have a whole bunch of like really good articles now on the site about, you know, different videos and stuff like that. So if you haven't been to 3blueandbrown.com in a while, I'd suggest going. It's actually got some really, really nice stuff. And hopefully people use it effectively, you know? So this, for example, I'll just give you guys this article here, paste it over here as an example of stuff that people are working on. Why did I go ranting about that? Oh, right. Because this is kind of in addition to other things that he's doing. So this summer I was kind of working on the website, the Summer Math Exposition, some stuff that I really can't talk about just yet, and just, you know, generally stuff to make it easier for him to make content of different types. That's kind of what I was focusing on. Anyway, that was kind of random. Let's go ahead and finish up this email to some random guy who wrote some code that may or may not work. Gotta go. I need to wake up properly. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for coming by. I do realize it's super late for a lot of people. Again, this time zone sucks for so many people, and I'm so sorry about that. But you know, maybe when I'm in Europe, things will be more stable. I don't know. I can't guarantee the time zone will be better, but I can guarantee I have more stability. So it's 7 a.m. Oh, I forgot you're in Europe. Please get some sleep. Anyway, guys, if you guys have to go, I totally understand. Have a good evening. Lightbook, hey, how are you? I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I'm writing an email on stream because apparently that's what I do now. I was thinking about participating to someone, but it's probably too late now. Unfortunately, yes, submissions are going to happen in 4 days. Depending on how this particular how this goes, we may or may not do some too. But we're deciding on it. The whole point of someone was just to get people to make something. So even if it's not your best work, just making something and going in that direction is still important, I think. So yeah, that's what needs, that's all it is. But yeah, it got a bit of a buzz and people were interested in it. How many submissions so far? Something on the order of 400. I didn't check today, but I checked yesterday and we had over 400. Which, right, so you might be saying 400 isn't a lot, but on the other hand, like, we're asking people to genuinely create, you know, a new work of mathematical education, like some sort of new math exposition, whether that be like, you know, written or video or whatever, and do it in a month and then submit it. And it's just, it's a lot. So, and so we're guessing by the end of the week, we'll have about 1,000. Sorry, we'll have about 1,000 because, you know, it's the last week and this is when people need to submit. Okay, we have a decently large number of applications. I'm trying to find the best way to judge them. Right now, we are thinking of having each applicant judge 5 other entries and are hoping, one second, to use Gavel for this. My naive questions are, let's just go down here. 1, is it possible to change the interface so we see what am I looking for? List of roughly 5 applicants, 5 entries, and return back a rank ordered list for this. This would then be split up into pairwise interactions for the underlying algorithm. And 2, the next question I have was something I wrote over here. Is it possible to ensure that judges do not judge themselves? Let's see. I am happy to make these changes. One second. if possible. But I don't know. But I need a little direction. But I'm not sure what. Am not sure exactly what to change at this moment. Would I don't know what I would be happy. One second. To chat. Do a video chat. Or do. I'd be happy. What do I see? This is why writing email sucks. It's so hard. I'd be happy to chat via text or video about this if you are available. List a second email you may want to include. Great, thank you so much. I would be happy. I'd be happy to not have this problem, but I do. I don't know why my southern accent came out there. No one knew I was from Alabama until just then. Oh my word. Email. Perfect. Oh, he's at MIT. I was also at MIT. Should I do this for my MIT email? I'll do it for my MIT email. Yeah, let's do it for my MIT email. Okay. Let's grab that as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it from my MIT email. Let me just say, thanks, James. And let's go ahead and put this on. Oh no, stop it. You guys are now seeing some spam I get. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Whoa. Bama's a thing. It's fine. Dr. James Schloss, I'm working with Grant Sanderson from the channel 3 Blue 1 Brown to run a competition. So let's just go ahead and get some links here. 3 Blue 1 Brown. Brown. Sure. Maybe .com is the one I should show them. Yeah, let's do 3blueandbrown.com. We spent a while on that. So 3 Blue 1 Brown here. Let's do a link. Grab this guy over here. There. Paste it there. Okay. And then I need to highlight this and give that a link as well. Link. By date. Written. Summer of Math Exposition. That's what I want. Click. Okay, let's do yank and paste. To run a competition this summer called the Summer of Math Exposition. Someone. Okay, perfect. I'm Notre Dame fan. I was just being memeing Mama fans. I'm gonna be honest. I know absolutely nothing about football. I went to Auburn University, which says I should know a lot about football. And when I went to OIST, the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, for my PhD studies, like people at the interviews were even asking me about football, and I'm like, look, man, I know nothing about this, but I guess it's cool, Okay. We have a decently large number of applications and are trying to find the best way to judge them. Right now, we are thinking of having each applicant judge 5 other entries and are hoping to use Gavel for this. My naive questions are: 1, is it possible to change the interface so we see a list of roughly 5 entries and return back a rank ordered list? This would then be split up into pairwise interactions for the underlying algorithm. And 2, is it possible to ensure that the judges do not judge themselves? Okay. I'm happy to make these changes if possible, but I'm not exactly sure what to change at this moment, what to do at this moment. I'd be happy to chat via text or video about this if you're available. Okay. So let me do the following. I will be right back, guys, because I'm still available via voice. I just didn't want you guys to see my my MIT address. And I think I can just send that. Okay. I think that's fine. Give it a second. Okay, it is sent. Let's get back to it. Oh man, that was the first time and probably only time, hopefully only time, when your MIT email be Googleable. I don't, I mean, maybe. It's fine. I mean, I'm sure you can. It's just I knew my Gmail address is available on GitHub, publicly available. It's fine. And look, I mean, honestly, we only have like 13 people here. So like, you know, having 13 people know about my MIT email is not the worst thing in the world. But, you know, I try to keep some accounts hidden just in case. Okay, so the question was, what am I emailing about? So, as the email said, we have this thing called the Summer of Math Exposition going on right now. Where we are essentially collecting a bunch of people to submit math exposition to us, whether that be video, text, you know, video games, whatever it happens to be. And the hope is that we can create a vibrant, thriving community of people who make math content online. And of course, to do that, you have to make something. Hence the name Someone, because the idea was like just the whole point of Someone is so that you guys make something. It's not the best name. It was just something we went with because as a rolling theme of the whole thing, like it's just make something. Like that's it. Just do something. Put something on paper. That's the whole idea. Maybe it's a good idea to make it clear. The timely matter. Yeah, it's too late now. I already sent the email in. I think what I'm going to do is just try to get like a local build running, and just try to slowly work it up. So, so let me just get a local build up and running, which means I have to get VirtualBox up. And then, honestly, it might just take another hour just to get a local build running. And then once I have this build running, I then need to also get a build on my laptop running. Right. Okay. Wouldn't 2 and 2 technically be 22? Wait, wouldn't 2 and 2 technically be 20? Holy cow. The entirety of mathematics is now broken by one random person in Twitch chat. No, I mean, like, sure, you can actually, actually, that would be kind of interesting. What if you had a different counting system that wasn't... Anyway, there are actually ways to make that quite interesting. That also breaks physics. But you could imagine a counting system where... how do we put this? You can imagine a counting system. Right, so the way counting currently works is... Oh, here's Gitter. I don't know what Gitter is. So maybe... Paste it here. Oh, this looks right. Let's sign in to start talking, I guess. Sign in with GitHub. Huh. Do I want to authorize this? Also, it's kind of weird to be doing this on stream. I should probably be doing this off of stream, because there's potentially some personal information that's being shown. Again, today was not supposed to be a long stream. It was just kind of meant to pop in, do some algorithm archive work, explain the problems that I'm currently having. You guys have already helped a lot with this project, so I think maybe I call it for now, and I just kind of start chatting with people so that it's, you know, I don't accidentally leak any more confidential information than I already have. Again, not that I've actually linked any confidential information really, but, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, I'm on the up and up here. So again, it was a short stream. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to make sure I get some stream on the books every day. That's what today is. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do tomorrow or the next day, but I should be able to do longer streams for the entirety of next week because my wife is not going to be here. So that is helpful in some ways. The other thing I want to point out is that after that, it's going to be very chaotic. So it'll be a week of like, you know, really, hopefully good streams coming up. And then it will be basically weeks, potentially weeks, plural, of very little coming out, just because that's when the move to Barcelona happens. So I'm doing my best, but I'm all over the place. But hopefully in the next few months, there will be light at the end of the tunnel, and I can finally settle down and get some work done. So that's where I'm at now. I'm gonna go ahead and close for the day. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it happens to be your time. And I'll see you guys around next time for the next episode of Simuleos, which won't be tomorrow, won't be the next day, but will hopefully be Sunday. Sorry about that, guys. See you next time. Bye, guys.